Funding is now available to enhance mobility for older adults and individuals with disabilities, thanks to the Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission. Today on City Chat, we are delighted to have MORPC's Principal Planner, Mike Borger, to talk about their Section 5310 Enhanced Mobility and the transportation planning done here in the Columbus region. Thank you, Mike, for joining us on set today. Could you start off by telling us a little bit about what MORPC does and the work that you guys do throughout the Columbus region?
Yeah, absolutely, thanks for having me. So the Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission, or MORPC, is Central Ohio's regional council, and we have 70 members that consist of counties, cities, villages, townships, and regional organizations. What we do is bring those members together, determine best practices, and essentially plan for the long-term future of our region. Within our programs and services, we cover things like transportation, sustainability, data and mapping. We have a residential services program that takes care of home weatherization, and we also do government affairs.
Yeah, you guys do so much for the city. I know that transportation is like a huge thing. When you think MORPC, you think transportation.
Right.
But today we're here to talk about this new program, the 5310, Section 5310 Enhanced Mobility Program. And so how did this how does this fit into your overall context of like the work that you guys do and, you know, the main mission of MORPC?
So MORPC is designated by the federal government to conduct transportation planning within the Columbus urbanized area. So that can mean quite a few different things. We do long-range planning, transportation planning specifically, that goes out 20 to 30 years. We also do comprehensive planning, and it looks at how the community will grow, how the region will grow. We also get down to the individual funded project level. And that could be something that's funded for the next 3 to 4 years. But what we're here to talk about today, specifically with 5310, is, as you mentioned, older adults and individuals with disability and their mobility. These funds can be used to improve that.
Definitely. So can you just go ahead and tell us like what this program is about, what it's really talking about, what does it look like, who does it benefit, and how, and just the overall process?
Sure. So for most of us, for many of us, we kind of take our mobility for granted. Mm-hmm. So we can get in a car, get on a bus, ride a bike, or even walk. And there are many individuals in Central Ohio who are unable to do that. And that creates a gap in their transportation access. So if you've ever seen a shuttle that may look like it's handicap accessible, yeah. Not even some buses, but I mean even like a van, you'll see mobility vehicles. It could have been purchased using 5310 funds. But it's not just that. The resources can be used to pay for software that would manage their system or their fleet. It allows agencies to collaborate and partner together and contract with each other to provide services, whether it's a circulator, or if it's the equipment that you need to make your vehicle more accessible to the handicap.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really interested to hear about like the heart of all of this and like why this came to your guys' attention and why you felt that you really needed to like tackle that.
Well, as I mentioned, we do have MORPC has a long-term broad vision for the region, but it can't just be for certain few. It has to be for everyone, and we have to remember that not everyone, even in rural communities, even getting across a rural county is hard for someone who is not disabled. Yeah. So it has to be a part of our planning work, and it has to be a part of our vision. And there was one thing I neglected to tell you to your previous question. This cycle for our 5310 application is the first year that we've allowed choices for vendors. So previously we had one vendor, great vendor, but now we have multiple vendors. And if people would like to go to our website, it's MORPC.org, MORPC.org, under Enhanced Mobility. Agencies can actually schedule demos. They can go and look at the vehicles. It's kind of like when you're buying a car, you want choice, you want to be able to test it. Now they're able to do that. So that's a change to our program this cycle.
So you guys have already have these like cars or these like shuttles created?
Well, there are some. We have vendors that we can put you in touch with to for you to, if what you're using this program for is to purchase vehicles, we have people that you can communicate with to do that. What's different this go round is that you can actually, instead of just having the one choice, you have multiple choices on vehicles. I think that some of the companies, it might take some time to build them, so you may not always immediately get a vehicle. There's a backlog. I know, for example, Ford is building tons of these, and it takes a while for them to get off the line, but eventually you'll get your vehicle.
Yeah, that kind of goes into our next question. So what kinds of organizations apply for these funds, like who are eligible and,
Right. So local governments, private nonprofit organizations, or public or private organizations or agencies that provide transportation services. So it can be a small neighborhood-based transportation agency, or it can be a private taxi service. As long as you are providing services to the group that we're discussing now, you can apply. So you asked about the process, I believe?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So the application process is simple. you go to morpc.org, as I mentioned, under Enhanced Mobility. There's a drop down for the application. It's a fillable PDF. You just go, fill it out, and you send it back to us by January 13th. If you need any assistance, I can send you a direct copy. We can help you fill it out. But when it comes back into our office, we do a scoring process. We weight it based on, there's lots of metrics. It could be capacity, how you use the funds before, but overall it's the impact that you're going to have on the region, especially for people with disabilities or older adults. Right. And then we should hopefully be able to let people know what they received by March.
That's great. That's really awesome. What other ways do people in the region benefit from MORPC's transportation work?
Right. So, as I mentioned earlier, we plan a lot, and MORPC plans for a lot of people, and we have a lot of people and issues in mind. So, any gain is a gain for everybody. We do want to bridge that gap, certainly, but really our goal is to have a multimodal, sustainable system. So that is not just roads and highways and bridges, which of course are extremely important, but transit services or trails, bike and pedestrian facilities, all of that, and the technology and support and operating support that goes along with that is also important. Another program that I would like to kind of bring out, just because it's to your question here, is GoHio Commute. So another issue that we have are for commuters who have issues getting to work or to medical appointments or other places. So with GoHio Commute, it's a way that the users of the transportation system can come together and either van pool or ride share. We even work with companies, large companies, big and small, it doesn't matter, to help them with their transportation needs, because a lot of companies have a big parking facility, maybe they're further out and they have issues getting people to and from work. So GoHio Commute is another option for mobility. And if it ultimately helps move, again, our target audience we're talking about, then great.
Wow, that's awesome. I love people that are MORPC is so great because you guys always emphasize this greater, bigger vision, and it's just really hard for people like me to see that big picture sometimes. So I really appreciate everything you guys are doing, and MORPC is a great organization. Thank you.
Thank you. And just as a reminder, anyone can reach out to us at any time and we will help them with this application.
That's great. Thank you. To learn more about MORPC's 5310 Enhanced Mobility Program, visit morpc.org. Thanks for watching City Chat on CTV.